Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. So this is Samantha from Awaken with Sam from CoachSamRaw.com. And I want to bring through another Ascension update with the topic of breaking deeper. And this morning we went into this quantum clearing meditation about this topic. And I'm going to share the visuals that I used because they're actually really activating and they support us in so many ways. I am doing this live, but I want to bring through this topic. I want everyone to just relax and just be. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you want to just look at the pictures and feel absolutely whatever you're guided to do is perfect. And then towards the end, I'll look at the chat and I'll say, if there's anything that was shared, has been shared, I'll look at that as well. And again, just to open up this theme, along with the Ascension update, there's so much that is breaking right now. And while we may be perceiving it to be happening in our external, it is actually also happening internally. And this is the biggest, this is the space in which to allow the breaking to occur even deeper. And so we opened up to all of these different aspects, emotions, all of these different belief systems that we may still be carrying inside about this energy that I want to open you up to as well. I want you to really breathe this in. Breathe with your whole entire body. Breathe as we connect more and we connect deeper. And just allow yourself to open up to this space. Open yourself up to your light. Open yourself up to everything that is breaking inside of you. Open up. To everything that you perceive is happening right now. Sorry, throat clearing going on too. There's this perception that this rope is breaking. The rope that has kept us safe. The rope that we've been holding on to for so long. There's this misperception that if we were to let go and if we were to allow this to break, everything will break loose and everything will break loose. That is how you break your own walls, your own jail cells, your own chains. So allowing your mind to bring everything to the surface while allowing yourself to not stay in the mind. allowing yourself to feel what's in the mind through your body, and let just everything break loose. Everything needs to be broken loose. Everything needs to break inside of you. It's the misperceptions of the linear mind that keep us from allowing this. They keep us from falling or allowing things to fall. And just breathe into this. All of the old structures inside of you are falling, and a big one has just fallen too. Doesn't matter what you perceive, what you believe, how you grew up, doesn't matter. Every single person has held on to the old constructs for a really long time. And so right now we must allow ourselves to break deeper. Let things fall. Let the pieces fall where they may, because they're going to fall. This isn't a matter of if, this is a matter of when. And the more that you open yourself up and the more that you breathe, the more that you allow things to happen now. And so continuing to feel deeper levels of these aspects that are still very afraid, very confused. They're panicking. This is why a lot of us are having panic attacks. This is why a lot of us are going through anxiety. Because deep, 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 deep down inside of us, we know that so much is breaking. Our safety net is breaking. Our protection mechanisms are breaking. Our cords are breaking. Part of our realities are breaking. But at the same time that they're breaking, a new one is being created. A new ecosystem within us, within our own microcosm, is being created. And you're not the only one. Every single person on this planet is experiencing this at some level. Don't compare your reality to anyone else's. Honor where you are, honor everything that you're feeling so that you can continually honor everyone else's journey and everyone else's pathway. It's all crumbling. Everything is and everything must. Can you allow yourself to feel this? This is about continuing to feel deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Can you allow yourself to feel this? Not just with your head, not just with your mind, but with your whole entire body. This is the beginning, even though we've been feeling this for years now. A lot of people have been talking about 2025. And it's important to just continually open up to, because even though there's a lot of things that will happen this year, not everything is going to happen this year. It's just too much. So it'll be stretched out, and I bring through, within the next 2 years, and then within the next 5 years, there's going to be a lot more breakthroughs, a lot more breaking, a lot more breaks within the old structure. But it's also about our internal structure. Our internal structure will continue to break. Now, this happens energetically in a lot of different ways. Okay. However, there are people that are also feeling the break in the body. So there's a lot of people in my reality within the last 2 years that I've heard, oh, this person fractured this, or this person broke this, or this person had this accident. Or a lot of people, a lot of falling too. So in my personal reality too, one of my parents fell the other day, and then a neighbor also fell maybe months back, and another friend of ours was also fell. It's a lot of falling. And so allowing yourself to open up to this energy a little bit more. Opening yourself up to it's okay to let things fall. In fact, this was something that I heard growing up, that if you were to just relax within the moment that you feel falling, you're going to have a much smoother landing. It's when we tighten the muscles. It's when we resist the fall. It's when we, curl up and just clench, that we harden everything. And this is actually how sometimes our bodies end up breaking, or our bones end up breaking, or whatever the case may be. So really allowing yourself the opportunity to just let go and keep on falling inside of you. It's like that song. Keep on falling, falling, falling. I don't even really know the song. That just came through. We need to allow ourselves to open up to a new perspective and a new level of consciousness that says falling is part of the process. Okay. I'm going to allow my internal energy and my internal world to continue to fall, because that is also how we shift the energy inside of us, where we don't necessarily need to physically break. Now, there will be a physical break in some way and at some level, but it's going to be a lot smoother when we allow the falling and the breaking to happen consciously inside of us. The external breaking and falling, it's actually going to be a lot smoother. Now, that's all relative. And we just have to open ourselves up to the flow. So I might continue to just show the images. Welcoming whoever's here, whoever's listening, whoever's here live. Didn't really share this broadcast too much. I'll only be here for like another half an hour or so, but I wanted to open up to this topic because it's really, really important. There's this innate resistance that we have, that we carry, and we don't even know it. I didn't know how deep this was within me until a few years ago. There was a little explosion that happened right outside my door. And so a few days later, the whole tube that was connecting my electricity to the grid fell. And it was such an automatic response to try not to let it fall. And I was with a neighbor. He was actually cutting his branches because part of why that explosion had, I'm calling it explosion. It was like something went off with the circuitry. There was a lot of wind and the branches were touching the cables. And so it made like a false contact of some sort, and it ended up blowing my entire electric system. So he was cutting out the branches, and at some point, that long metal tube that was holding up my electrical system was very loose and was very weak. And so it started to fall. And I automatically wanted to prevent the fall. So I held on to it. And what happened is that the tube got so heavy. My muscles were in so much pain. I was in so much pain. And it wasn't until my neighbor was like, just let it go. Like, don't even worry about it. Just let it go. And in that moment, it was like, oh, I need to give myself permission to do this because our whole old body system is so automatically programmed to prevent falling that it's so natural. And so at that moment, it was so heavy. I was in so much pain, muscularly, that I had no choice. So I let go. The tube fell. No one got hurt. But I actually got so activated in that moment from that experience. I was so angry. I was so angry that I actually tried to prevent this fall because I didn't realize how connected it was to me subconsciously trying to still prevent the fall and the break of everything that was old. So much started activating within me. I was so upset. I was so angry. Good thing that we were both I was helping him chop up, cut off the branches. And so it was like something inside of me that I was like, oh my God, I need to let this energy out. And so I started to help him and like break those branches even deeper and like get all that anger and get all um, that deep, um, deep madness inside of me, letting it all out. So there will be a physical, we will have a physical experience with this. However we feel it and however experience it, just allow yourself the opportunity to be with it and continuing to breathe. So I'm going to come back here. Again, welcoming everyone. If you've been having this experience, if you've been feeling this within, you're welcome to share because you're not the only one. We're not the only ones going through this. We're not the only ones going through this really big break and this really big collapse. Everything inside of us is collapsing. Everything inside of us needs to collapse. Everything inside that was like the old part of the old, all of that has to continually collapse. Okay. We will continue to see deeper levels of this in our external and in the outside, quote unquote, outside world, in the media, in the news. And the biggest thing is to continually connect to that same energy happening inside of you. So, of course, we all know 3 days ago, we had a big transition within the Catholic Church. And it's very fascinating because a lot of us will feel into and will see things way before they happen. So for me personally, this was, I want to say like about 3-4 years ago, when I started to open up. I was in a meditation, I believe. And all like I saw in my internal vision the physical structures of the Vatican fall. And for me, in that moment, for what I was going through, was obviously very, very significant, very symbolic. And while we know, like, oh, this is going to happen, right? This is bound to happen. It is important to continually feel this level of collapse inside of you. Continue to feel and continue to connect to all of these old systems inside of you in the way that you need to, because there will be a moment, and there will be a space and time where you're going to see all of these structures fall and collapse. So however that happens, it's all going to be kind of there is this level of like surprise element in a lot of different ways, because our linear minds get caught up with this particular way, or this particular vision, or this particular image. And we're always going to be tested in that whatever you see in your head and in your mind, let it all go. Right? Let yourself just completely let go of it all, so that the highest reality can come through. And this is very challenging for our minds, because our minds are the pessimistic, right? The negative Nancy's. And so everything that is happening right now seems like really, really bad. And your mind perceives as the worst. However, in the bigger scope of things, the way things align as we continue to open up and as we continue to allow everything to occur, it is one of the highest ways for things to occur. Meaning it could be way worse in a sense. But no, we're opening up more and more light is coming through. So we have to continually open up to everything that's happening right now is actually highest align. It's actually happening in a smoother way. It's actually happening in a way that we can take it in a way. Now, this isn't to say that it's not going to be emotional, and it's not going to break us deeper inside, because it will break you deeper inside. Here's my experience. The more that you allow, the more that you anchor deeper within your body, the faster you break and the easier you break with anything. And I started to feel this level of like really deep sensitivity, really deep emotional state a few years ago when I would cry. I would get so deep in this emotional purging by even like listening to the birds. There was one time, I think I was going out somewhere, and I heard the birds right outside my house, in front of my house, and it activated me so much. I actually broke down and cried outside. I was in my little car garage, and I just fell to the floor, and like all of these emotions just started to pour out of me. And I started to just feel how incredibly activating and incredibly, like, at some level, our minds, I want to say sensitive, but I know the mind has like different connotations with it. It's just this really new level of sensitivity that opens us up, and we break down very easily. But that's because we need to. That's because my body started to connect at a deeper level and chose to break through smoothness, chose to break through lightness. So instead of breaking through these really harsh, catastrophic realities, we choose not to allow those realities to break us. We allow more of that softness, more of that beauty, more of that gentleness to actually break us, because that actually becomes a lot smoother way of like breaking and collapsing everything inside of us. So instead of needing someone to like really punch us in the face or like trip us, we allow ourselves to break when we just look at someone's foot, or when we look at someone in the eye, which has happened before. All of these deeply suppressed emotions start coming up. All of these deep emotions, deep images or memories start to come out from softness. And it's so key, because as the world continues to collapse and as the world continues to fall and everything seems chaotic and seems violent and seems um, catastrophic, we can choose to break deeper right now. Don't wait. Choose to open up more and more and more and feel things from your body. Choose to be ready to feel things now. And it doesn't matter what it takes. In fact, allow everything to activate you, no matter what it is. It could be the most silliest thing, it could be the most insignificant thing, but the more that you connect to your body and the more that you connect to the energy, anything can activate you. A rock, a spoon, a table, anything can serve as that catalytic energy and activation for you to break deeper. So just breathe, because the collapses are going to continue to get bigger. The breaking of the old will continue to become bigger and bigger and bigger. So let things fall as they may. Let the old structures, let the old external structures, let the old external systems be. There's going to be, yes, there's going to be some fighting, and there's going to be some tug of war, and there's going to be all of these different, things that are trying to get your attention. But the moment that you close your eyes and the moment that you start to connect that external energy with your internal energy is the moment that you allow yourself to go through this smoother. So just breathe that in. Take it in. You don't have to fight this anymore. You don't have to make this hard. It is. Your mind makes us believe that it's all has to be harder, and we have to do it all on our own, and we have to make sense of everything, and that we have to, and that it's all us. But your linear mind lives in separation, which is part of the reason why it accepts this level of consciousness. The more that you allow yourself to become more present, more open to your breath, and more open with your body and to your body, the more you're going to start to feel that this isn't, and you don't have to do anything from your linear head. Allow your light to come through and do things for you. And as you allow more light, your higher mind starts to open up. And your higher mind it has a consciousness way, 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 way beyond anything that we know. And so just gonna stay here for a few more, just a few more minutes, wrapping it up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being open. Again, just wanted to do a quick update. And continue to and open up this topic, continue to open you up to where you're still afraid of this breaking, of this breakup, of breaking through. We're afraid of our own freedom. We're afraid of being free. We're afraid of flying. And we have to continually feel into both. Where am I afraid to break? Where am I afraid to be stuck? Where am I afraid to stay stagnant, stay within the old? And then also open up to where am I afraid to be free? It's like the example of the elephant, where the elephant is programmed to believe that when it has this ankle chain, and this ankle chain is like tied to a chair, it believes that it's stuck. It believes that the chair is bigger than him, or bigger than its own weight. This is us. All of our chains and all of our jail cells and all of our walls are just a perception. In a way, they're invisible. And in a way, we can become invisible. We are invisible too, which means we can walk through walls. Okay. There is obviously a physicality to that, to all of this, to this process. The way we become light again, the way we become, like see through and we're able to walk through walls is by clearing all the density and all of the deep, heavy stuff within us. And this is why it's so important to break deeper levels inside. Break deeper, 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 emotionally, mentally, physically, and energetically. I shared this in a post that I shared. Somebody actually, two people actually asked me about this. I'm going to open up a little bit to this because it's really important, and I feel it's important to open up to it so that you can start to feel this deeper. Okay. The shadow aspect of ourselves is the surface level. It's like this, it's like the iceberg that's on top of the sea level. Okay. It's how we start to open up. Okay, which is it's valid. It's part of a lot of our journey of going deeper into our darkness is through the shadow. But the more that we open up, we start to realize that it goes deeper. You actually can get to the root if you stay within the shadow. It's like if you just stay in that iceberg, the top of the iceberg, you will only reach a certain level of depthness. And so you have to dive into the ocean to see and to feel deeper levels of the shadow, which is the ego. And so allowing yourself to open up and feel the ego mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, and spiritually, which is energetically, is how you start to break the iceberg from the root. So it's easy, and it becomes a comfort zone to stay within the shadow, to stay within the iceberg, the top of the iceberg. It's cool, it's like it's comfortable. It becomes comfortable. It becomes kind of, what we can take. But the biggest thing for every single one of us to start opening up to is to go within, deeper within the shadow, which is deep into the root, which is the ego. Because the root of the shadow is your ego, right? The ego. One time this is what came through. I was like, I started to open up to, wait a minute, your light is light, your light has no shadow. All right. So when we talk about shadow, we're talking about what creates the shadow. Well, the ego, right? The ego is the form that creates the shadow. So in that moment, I had this big aha of like, oh, it's not about the shadow. It's about what creates the shadow. And what creates the shadow? The ego. So it's time to go deeper within our ego. It's time to go underneath the ocean and tap into the massive iceberg that lays underneath. That's the meat and potatoes of all of this. But it's so scary. It's so deep. And you're going to go so deep into the depths of your darkness where there is no light. It is scary. The caveat is that you are the light. You have to go into your deepest, 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 darkest aspects as light, not as your ego, not as your darkness, because then it's going to be even more scarier. It's going to be even scarier. So the key is to open yourself up more to your light. You're not going to go to the bottom of the ocean in a day. You're not going to go to the bottom of the ocean right away. Your light is going to prepare you to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's literally like if one of us were to just, get all suited up and follow and just literally just throw ourselves in the ocean and go into the depths of the ocean where there is no light. Like that would probably be really scary if we're not trained, right? It's not like that. I mean, you are at some level getting prepared for that, meaning you are here. We're here anchoring more and more and more and more of our light so that we can become more prepared to go that deep into our darkness. And you're going to be prepared. You're going to have the tools. You're going to have the consciousness to know that this is part of the process. You're going to have the consciousness to know that you're not going to be trapped in there. You're going to shine light into all of those aspects that were so deep inside of you that you had no connection to. You're going to have the consciousness to know that the deeper you go, the more you expand, the freer you become, and the more open and more magical everything becomes. So you're going to, right now, what's happening is our consciousness is changing and our body DNA and genes are changing so that we can become more equipped to go deeper, deeper, and deeper and deeper inside of us in those levels that have never seen the light, right? That part of the ocean floor that has never seen light. That's what we're getting prepared to do. And you're not going to be alone. You're going to have everything supporting you. And so I'm going to end it with that. Sending you all so much love, sending you a wave of support. If you'd like to join us, I'm just started a new series, a new quantum clearing meditation series for those that would like to join in. I'll put the link below. And with that, continue to breathe, continue to open up, and continue to allow. Much love.